So Tank Davis is fighting Romero on May 28th for the Barclays Center in New York. And he says that this will be his last fight with Mayweather Promotions, that his contract is up. Now, some of you may remember a few years ago, Tank Davis was on social media basically crying out to the world about his situation with Mayweather Promotions, acting like he wanted to get out of his contract, but somehow couldn't because that contract was ironclad. And he even had Eddie Hearn basically not trying to poach him, but making offers to Mayweather Promotions to make fights for Gervonta Davis and pay him a lot of money. And Gervonta Davis seemed to like all that attention from Eddie Hearn at the time. Well, anyway, that situation seemed to stem, and I'm talking about the apparent beef between Gervonta Davis and Mayweather. That seemed to stem, according to Devin Haney, because Haney was involved in this situation somehow, right? Haney knows Tank, and of course he trained in the Mayweather gym for many years. And Haney was writing comments. I can't remember if it was tweets or it was actually comments on Instagram. I think it was the latter. I think it was Instagram. And he was writing comments on some of Gervonta Davis's pictures and videos on Instagram, claiming that Gervonta Davis had some type of inappropriate relationship with a female member of Mayweather's family. And I'll let you guys scour the internet and find out exactly who that was. But it's some type of inappropriate relationship. And this is what Devin Haney was blowing up back then. So yeah, that, according to Haney, is the reason why Gervonta Davis and Mayweather fell out. And the reason, I guess, partly why he couldn't get out of his contract. Now, a contract is a contract at the end of the day, but sometimes a promoter will release you from your contract early if you can come to some type of agreement or whatever, right? Sometimes you can buy your way out of your contract. But with Tank Davis, he felt like he was being punished for whatever reason. So he managed to reconcile with Mayweather, I guess because he had to, since this contract was ironclad. He's had several fights with him and so forth. But now that the contract is up, apparently, according to Davis, he's surely looking to get out and sign with somebody else. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can get past Romero, whether he re-signs with Mayweather Promotions or whether he goes elsewhere. Now, this should serve as a lesson to any young fighter. You do not sign contracts this long with anybody. See, sometimes fighters get tempted by the advances that promoters can offer them. You know, they might offer them an advance of a couple million or several 100,000. And if they're coming from the streets like Gervonta Davis, that's more money than they've ever seen in their lives. Do you know what I mean? They're like, wow, this guy's offering me whatever, 500 grand, $1 million up front as an advance. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. So they end up taking it. But of course, in exchange, you're signing away 5 years of your career. And a lot of these young guys as well are very impressionable. And when they see somebody like Mayweather, who's making absolute astronomical sums of money, they tend to just say, okay, let me just sign my career away to this guy because he's going to take me to the top. I want to be around greatness. I want to be around somebody who's successful. Well, yeah, there is benefit to doing that to some degree. But what you have to understand is that successful people are not always looking out for your best interests in terms of trying to get you to be as big as they are. They want to keep you underneath their control. You know what I mean? Under their thumb a lot of the time. That's what you have to bear in mind. So it's great to have successful people around you, but it's not necessarily great to have successful people having these kind of contracts over you. You know what I mean? 5-year contracts. Not a good idea. I don't care who it is. Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Bob Arum, Mayweather. It's not a good idea to be signing 5-year contracts. And I think that's what Davis actually signed, a 3-year or a 5-year contract. So let's see what happens from here on in. If he moves on, I think he should move on, quite frankly. I think he should maybe look at going to DAZN because they've got several fighters in his weight class. ESPN is another option. But wherever you go, learn from the mistakes of the past when it comes to business, putting a contract together. Learn from all that. And with Tank Davis, I'm not sure whether he will learn from it. I don't know, because in order to learn, you need, obviously he's going to learn things himself as an individual, but you really need a team of people, lawyers and advisors and so on, who can help you with the legalese and the contracts and what you're supposed to be getting here, there, and everywhere. Whereas with Tank Davis, he's an Al Heyman fighter, right? And he's with Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellaby and all that. Who's his manager? I don't know. Maybe I should have looked it up, but who's his manager? Because the manager, of course, in America, they got the Muhammad Ali Act, whereby a manager cannot be also a promoter of a fighter because it's a conflict of interest. So the manager is supposed to be negotiating with the promoter on behalf of the fighter. You see it? And the manager is supposed to be the one that ultimately has the fighter's best interests more so than the promoter does. That's the way it's supposed to work. Yeah? So who is Tank Davis's manager? What's he advising him right now? Is he advising him to look elsewhere after his contract expires? Because he certainly should be. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Tank Davis. And also, let me know what you think about the Romero fight. Maybe you think that Romero's going to upset Tank Davis? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you're tired of the biased narratives and mass censorship on mainstream platforms, and you want to be part of a community of critical thinkers who love free speech just as much as you do, then come and join me on Patreon and access my weekly no-holds-barred, censorship-free podcast where we lift the lid on a wide variety of controversial topics. It's not mainstream friendly, it's not politically correct, but that's the whole point. We dare to stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. Just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called Hatman Hot Topics. You'll gain access to a minimum of 2 hours of exclusive content every single week, including podcasts, videos, interviews, live stream Q&As, as well as my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. Not to mention a vast back catalog of hundreds of hours of previous episodes. You can listen via the Patreon app with the option to download in high quality MP3. We've also got an Element group where you can come and chat and hang out with myself and other members. Unlike Discord, it has full end-to-end encryption, is decentralized, and it's 100% censorship free. You can also send voice notes as well as much larger audio and video files than you can on Discord. So come and sign up on Patreon. There's no contract, there's no commitment. You can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a cup of coffee. So I'll see you over there. I'm out.